Just give me a second. All right. Let me know once you guys can see my screen.
Yes, you can.
Yes, Krishna. Yeah.
So the first thing is, I want to know how many of them are UI designers and how many of them are UX on the call.
Sorry, what was the question?
How many of them are only UI designers and how many of them are UX? As in, based on that, I wanted to, talk about the wireframing part as well.
I am UI designer.
Yes, me too. You are designer.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Devs. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, on this call, so we are going to do multiple sessions. Okay. But in this one, we are, or I am going to concentrate on few plugins which people can actually use. And apart from that, I'm going to concentrate on the stacking and especially, uh, you know, repeat grid. Okay. A lot of them don't use these things. So those are the few things that we'll be concentrating on. And also in the as part of plugins, there are only two that we'll be concentrating, but eventually in the next, calls, probably we'll add more plugins that are kind of useful to use. Okay. If you guys have anything in between, so you can just keep, saying, speaking. This is my first session, so I might not be as perfect as it can be. So you guys can just unmute and speak if you want to. Okay, so today, as part of the plugins, there are two plugins which I really wanted to talk about. One is a wireframer, and one is the charts, or you can. There's also Busy Charts. Uh, so what I noticed, or what we all notice, is every time that we are actually starting a new project or we are working on wireframes, we are creating everything from scratch. Even the wireframes, we are kind of creating everything from scratch. So there's a plugin which people can use. It's called Wireframer, which has most of the elements that you need. It's pretty much like a UI kit, okay, which people can use to create a wireframe. Okay, maybe I'll just give you a small list of what we have. Let's say, all right, here we have UI elements. Say this is the forms. Okay, so the minute you select that, you actually have a complete form with the elements that are required for the wireframe. Okay, these are not components, these are just normal layers. If you notice, these are pretty much normal layers that you have that were created. So because this is a wireframe, you don't need components and everything, so you have this plugin where you can use all the elements. It's not just the uh, form elements. You actually have a lot of options. Probably icons, typography, the bars, the button styles.
So is
Okay,
this
this is a
custom design, or is it from inspired from material or any some framework?
no, this is a standard design, I believe. So
Okay,
this is because
just
you're
basic wireframe
this is
kind
for
of.
a wireframe. Okay,
Okay,
I'm not even talking about the visual design part. So this is just for wireframe, because what we do is even for the wireframes, we are creating everything from scratch. But where we actually have a lot of elements available throughout, you know, be it for sign up forms, be it for uh, you know charts or anything. Okay,
got it.
so for creating the wireframes, we can pretty much use this plugin. Okay, whatever you want to create. Uh, yeah, of course, the colors are like you just have blue and white thing. If you prefer some other color, maybe you can just go and add your colors and kind of change to whatever you want eventually. Okay, but For a wireframe, you don't have to create everything from scratch. That's the only thing. That is how this would help. Okay, this is one plugin that I wanted to share. And apart from that, there's one more plugin which I think most. So we have been working on a lot of data analytics related projects of late, and we have been creating a lot of charts. Okay, and most of the time we are either creating it manually or taking a screenshot and from high charts and kind of placing it. So there are two plugins which I kind of use, which is Visi Charts. This is a pretty simple chart tool. Okay, I'll remove these two. Okay, select the artboard, and here you actually have only three types of charts that you can create. Okay, one is a donut or donut or a line chart or a bar graph. Okay, so you can customize it. You can. It's not like it's a fixed one. You can give whatever data points that you need. As in, okay, let's say right now it says 60, 30, and 40 out of 100. Okay, and I just click, it gives you the information. Okay, you can change your colors whatever you want. You can manually select it and you can change your colors and everything. This is customizable. Okay, so maybe instead of 60 for 10 and this, I might think 50, 20, 10, 5 and 5 probably. That adds up. 70, 80, 90. Again, another 10 probably. So this is for a donut, and you actually have similar options for a line graph that you want. Okay, and then you have a bar graph thing. This plugin is kind of a simple one. Okay, uh, again, this is not a component. It doesn't create a component. It's just a normal layered structure. Okay, so this is a simple version plugin that we have. Then we have, which is ND charts. This is comparatively a more complex, but it has a lot of things. As in, you can create a line graph, you have a column chart, you have bar graph, you have pie chart, radar chart. You have a lot of options at the top. You can customize it as much as you want. Okay, say maybe for now I'll just give this. Oh, sorry, I need to select the artboard. Select the artboard, or you can just put a layer and you can just use that. You can, as I said, this is again customizable. When you're doing it, you can customize your colors, you can customize everything, and you just click on it and it kind of places the chart, sorry, on the artboard. Okay, you can, again, when I say it is customizable, even the fonts, let's say I will go with the same for now. Maybe I want to increase. Yeah, this is not this is the point. These are the basic information. Yes, this is maybe I want 16. Maybe the spacing is like 2. Okay. Uh, and okay, we'll do this for now. Yeah, the only thing is maybe you will not be able to select the font that you want. Okay, it gives you the sizes and everything. Eventually, if you want to add, you can just go, you can use the character styles that we create and just assign it to it. Okay, it uses the default font. Pretty much, it is similar with other, what do you say, charts as well. Okay, for bar graphs, for say this one. This is a pie chart. Okay, maybe for the pie chart. Okay, let me show this first. Yeah, sorry, my bad. You need to select the artboard or a layer and then kind of click for it to be implemented. Okay, again, for this also you have the the size, colors and text, everything that can be changed. Maybe this is a selected version. So selected is, I'll show you what the selected is. So this is, say, It's like this offset part. Maybe one of the data points can be shown as a selected one. It kind of gave that break. Okay. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is one of the plugins that I kind of came across. So it has a lot of, you can customize your colors and you can do everything that you want. So instead of creating everything from scratch, you can use these plugins. There are a lot of plugins. So in probably the next session, we will, kind of uh, select few specific plugins and kind of give a demo on how to use those things. Okay. Uh, yeah. So these are the two plugins that I kind of use. So I wanted to show that. Okay. And apart from plugins, we are going to concentrate on using stacking. I'm not sure how many of you actually use stacking. Can you just you know say something? How many of you use that stacking feature on XD?
Yes, I have used.
Yeah, me too.
I've also used.
Okay. And the repeat grid part.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So probably then this is for it's not. It's kind of for a beginners. Okay. Uh, okay. So one thing before we move to that, I wanted to show one shortcut because I've noticed a lot of people don't use stacking or the what do you say, uh, repeat grid or any of these grouping elements. They don't use it because of the multiple clicks that they want, that they have to do. Okay. And while working on what do you say, uh, the repeat grids or the stacking features, say you have multiple uh, okay, so this example, I'm just giving you an example. Okay, this is one thing that I wanted to show. So let's say this is a group. Okay, we have a group with multiple groups into it. Okay, this is just a two-level group that we have. Okay, but the problem is people still, a lot of people that we noticed, they just go, just because you don't want to do an double click and enter into the group, they kind of ungroup everything and kind of work on it. Okay, be it one group or maybe I kind of did 10 groups right now. One, two, I kind of grouped it 10 times or probably more. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I grouped it so many times. For general tendency of people is they can kind of double click and kind of go into it. Uh, there's a simple shortcut that you have to use. Click on control and click any layer that you want. It actually directly takes it. It doesn't matter if it is in 20 groups, subgroups. Click on control and click on whatever layer that you want. It directly takes you to that specific layer. Okay, this I wanted to show because before I move to the repeat grid and stacking, uh, I wanted to show that feature because of that clicking thing. Okay. All right. So for the people who did not, okay, even for the people who used the repeat grid, how do you change your data or the information that is there? Let's say you have a table. Okay, you kind of created a table with a name, probably name. Let me. I'm doing a rough one, huh, by the way. Text, blah blah blah. Maybe another text. Maybe a button. Suppose that maybe a button. Okay. There are two. Maybe I have a button here. Okay. Okay. Imagine we just did this and we are kind of creating a repeat grid out of it. Okay. How do you guys change the data for this one? Do you manually go and change for each layer, or do you follow some kind of other process? There are ways, of course. I'm sure few of them know it, but I wanted to check with others as well.
Manually.
Everybody.
Yeah, I did it manually.
Manually only.
Yeah, manually.
All right. Okay, then. Okay, we'll start. Okay, so we'll start with stacking. Then I'll go into the repeat grid part. Okay. Uh, Stacking is pretty much like an auto layout feature that we have in Figma. Of course, it's, what it does is it kind of preserves the spacings between every element that you have. Okay. Uh, I'm going to combine the stacking and the repeat grid in this part. Okay. All right. So imagine, say this is 20 or 250. Okay. I kind of remove this, maybe a little light shade. Okay. Now I'm going to create a button. Okay. Border. All right. For this also we'll kind of give a heading. All right. Oh, sorry, rounded corner. Now, the way stacking works is, say I have a title, then probably I have a description, which is not code. Okay, and this is going to be a, say, a text area. Okay, maybe I want this to be 14. Again, no bold. No, maybe let me give bold. This is again 14. Okay. Now, this is, let's say I group it, click on stack. What it does, I'm sure pretty much everybody knows that, what it does is if I move everything, it kind of moves the data accordingly. Correct. So tomorrow, let's say the text area increases, rest of the elements, which are aligned with it, kind of move. Now, with this, we are going to combine the, say, the repeat grid. Okay. I click on repeat grid. Okay, I'll show you the other ways also. Okay. For now, let's say I created a repeat grid. Maybe I want 5 of these. Or let's say 4. Let's do 4. Okay. What we generally do is, I know we kind of go and manually change it, but the way is you can use text files. Okay, this text file say has names. Okay, student 1, 2, 3, whatever it can be. Most of the time we kind of get the data in the Excel. I kind of copy it and put it in the text document. This has name. This has the dummy data that I kind of put para 1, para 2, para 3. Maybe I'll put another 2 into it. Okay, this is okay. Then I have a score, then I have a subtext which I am using, which is this. Okay. All you do is instead of manually changing it, select your text file, drag and drop and leave it at the title. See, it changed everywhere. And it actually takes the sequence in which it has in the text document. I don't have to change it manually throughout. Similarly with, let's say, the paragraph. See, para 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. And I kind of gave a score probably. Now, the document had 10 names, 10 paragraphs and everything. I'll just increase the width of this one. Sorry. All right. I hope everything is clearly visible. Huh? All right.
Yes.
Now, I did 5. I did this way. See this? It continued from 5. It came down. It continued from 6. Probably I don't want 5. I might want 4. The minute I change it to 4, see, the data moves and it kind of starts with 5 from 4. You don't have to manually change everything. It works through that document that it gave. Yeah. Once your 10 is done, it kind of repeats, of course. Okay. Similarly, one thing that I want to add an image now. What I do here is come here. Maybe I will put, this. I want to add an image here. So I go, I have an images folder where I kind of downloaded 10 images. There's no sequence of the images and all. All I do is drag, put, oops, sorry. It changed all the 10. Okay. Maybe, as I said, I don't want, maybe I want to go back to 5 and 5 by 2 first thing. So I worked on 1, but the data I changed in all 10 in a single go. Now, probably I want to, move the data from here. Okay. So first thing that I want to do is maybe this data is this space is kind of too much. I decreased it. Okay. We changed everywhere. Maybe I want the title to be below this one. It is replacing everywhere. It is moving that. All right. Now, there are certain limitations in this one. Okay. So when you copy paste, when you're doing this, when you did this, the document had 1 to 10 information, 10 students and paragraphs for 10. This is only one that we had. Okay. Now, maybe I am repeating it for the 11th one. If you notice, the minute the 10th is done, when you're actually coming back to the first one, whatever I change in this one, say 101, it changes in this one. Wherever it is, the minute it starts the cycle again, it kind of changes there. Okay. The other thing is, okay, now Yeah, what we did was we kind of had a button here. Uh, Change it the way that you want. Maybe okay, hold on. Let me do one thing. I'll kind of this and prepare it. Now I change. Yeah, I change this. It changes in this one. Similarly, again, we have say where is that? Okay. It changes everywhere. Now again, because this actually had just one text in it. Okay. Whatever I change here, it changes everywhere. Okay, that is one limitation. It if it is one, just one that you're using, it kind of repeats throughout. Okay, I do understand. Eventually, we would be using components and everything, and probably you change the title in the component. It text in the component. It does change here. Uh, but when you're using a repeat grid, the limitations are you can't have different components for in each grid that you have. So here, let's say I have start maybe with black here. Maybe I want to have something called as completed, but have the button as green. That wouldn't work. That those are certain limitations that we do have here. Okay, let's say I in the repeat grid, maybe I want to change. It doesn't. It changes throughout. Okay. Now, maybe yeah, I want to kind of do this start. Okay. It changes it to start complete, start complete, whatever that you want. Okay. Now, the thing that I did, this is one way of doing it, and the other way is probably okay. I'll copy this group from here to here. Other thing, I kind of grouped it. Okay. Now, even without creating the repeat grid, this still works. Okay. Maybe I'm just changing it back for now. Okay. I'll remove this. Okay. Now, I did not create a repeat grid, but even then, I I place this here, paragraph here, score, and this. Now, I create a repeat grid. It still takes that information. Even before creating the repeat grid, I kind of copy pasted the data from, I kind of dragged that document. It still took that information. So this, any questions? More than happy to answer.
Yes, KK.
Yeah.
So if I have, I need 10 blocks, I mean 10 cards, and in each row I cannot use 4. Maybe there is a reduce of space or something that. So in that case, a first
Sorry,
row will be 4.
sorry, come again.
Yes, I would like to say that I think so there is a there I need the 10 cards. Okay, I don't
Okay.
want to need more than 10 cards, and
Mhm.
I have to set it as in a row there will be a 4 due to some reduce of space or something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, in that case, if I repeat the grid, so first
Hmm.
row will take 4, second row will take 4, and third row will take also 4 cards. But
That is
how?
where that is a restriction that you have.
Mhm,
Because see, I can't delete because it's in a repeat grid. I can't
mhm.
delete this specific, you know, cards that you want.
Okay, so I
So
have to do it
it is
manually,
going to
right?
repeat how many, it is going to repeat what you have in the first row, the number of
Mm,
things that you have. So if you
mm,
have four there, it is going to show four. You
mm.
can use equal, what do you say, 4 by 2 or 4 by 4 or something. It will not give you like first two rows as 4 4 and next row as 2. It
Yes,
is
so
going
I
to
have
repeat.
to, so I have to delete the last 2 cards manually.
You
So will
can't
it
delete
work?
it. You can't delete it.
Okay, okay,
If you
okay,
delete
okay.
it, it will remove. See, if I the minute I delete this, it removes everywhere because it is a repeat grid. If I
Mm.
specifically want to delete this last two, I can't delete it. That's the
No,
restriction that you
no,
have.
no,
If
no,
if
no,
we
no,
do
no.
an if we do on group grid, then we can delete, right?
Yes. If you now, you kind of create, you have already created your probably your art, screen.
Mm.
Uh, See, I don't suggest doing, ungrouping the repeat grid because tomorrow again, if you want to do some kind of change, maybe tomorrow the button changes, your button color changes.
Mm.
Okay. If you ungroup it, see, the only way that you can do is one, you ungroup it and then probably delete these two.
Yes,
But now
yes.
the link between these things is gone. Whatever
Mm.
change you do is only specific to that.
Correct, correct.
So tomorrow, if your text size changes, your button changes, it's not
Mm.
going to change in rest of the things. You have to manually do it again. So I don't
Mm.
suggest doing it that way. The only option for such things is probably you go and
If
hide
we
it.
can rename those groups, it
Hide
would
it.
be excluded, right? If
Okay.
that is the case.
This is the easiest option that you can do if you don't
Yeah,
want.
correct.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
there's no naming, right? So it's see if you see inside it, I don't have any group.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no renaming of group or anything. It's a single, it's this is a single layered part that I have, and this group
Mm.
is nothing but a button.
Mm. Yes,
Okay,
yes, got it.
so there's no renaming of these things.
All right, thanks for that.
And the thing is, you can use repeat grid inside a repeat grid as well, and there are a lot of benefits, and it actually saves a lot of time when you're working.
Mm.
Instead of
Mm.
manually changing it by see these 10 things that we did, we kind of did it in like less than 5 or 4 minutes
Mm.
probably. I did not even take long.
Mm.
Okay.
Krishna, Praviran here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Krishna, can I use multiple linking from this repeat grid?
Yeah, yeah. You can,
Okay.
everything is a single button, right?
Okay.
Now you can have different links.
Yeah.
This will have a different link. Probably. Let me clear another artboard probably.
Yeah.
And yeah. So each can have a different link.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, you can still do all that, triggers and everything. Whatever trigger that you want. Maybe this is drag. Okay. Maybe I don't want, I just want it to be a voice probably. Okay. Each will have their own properties for interaction. The only restriction that, as I said, you have is the colors are going to be the same or the sizes of them are going to be the same. So let's say here this is 14 and I want to do 20. Everywhere it changes to 20.
So if I
Can't-
make it as a component, so then every grid card is as a component, right?
Yeah, everything is going to show as a component.
Okay.
Hi Krishna, this is Namrata.
Mhm.
So whenever I am making a card as a component and then I'm applying repeat grid. That time, if I can I change any button style or any text inside that?
Uh, that I still have to check. I haven't tried that way. I can
Yeah, I
go.
was trying literally, so which is why I got stuck. So I'm
Hmm.
asking if it is possible. I think there is some restrictions. We
Yeah,
cannot like
few
do
restrictions.
some. Yeah.
For if you are creating a component with this one, and then uh, no, see, when you're actually creating a component, you're still when you're actually replicating it, it's just creating an instance of it. Correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So certain changes can be done to the instance, but rest it's still going to take what the properties are there for the parent.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are few limitations in the repeat grid, but it still serves the purpose of working out quick on the screens. Uh, Having that stacking option is one of the best features that we actually have in XD. You know, I'll just open one screen. So see, we have this. Okay, everything is under. Say I kind of grouped everything. This is stack. And tomorrow, if some data changes, if you don't use stack, let's say this is everything is manual. Okay, this is a group, this is a group, this is a group. Now say this is increasing. Okay, maybe this width, this height is increasing. See, you still manually have to go and move everything. Correct. It's a lot of effort that you're going to put. Just select everything, kind of create the stack option. Okay, and now go in, maybe you move, oh, sorry, where did I go? I did not select. Yeah. Ah, good. What is this is I have this. Okay, now I move this, it moves everything below it. Okay, the heat map, maybe the rectangle that I have, I am increasing it. You don't have to manually change. You don't have to manually move stuff. It auto adjusts with your layout that you have, the spacing that you gave. You can have different spacing. So this is using 45 pixels between each element. Maybe I want to have, for this, I want to have, say, 45 after. For this, maybe I want to have 90. Okay. So this, before this is 90 and after this is 45. Maybe here I want 60. It still retains that information. Whatever you do, it still follows that only. So tomorrow, even if you're using a repeat grid and actually, let's say you're working on a table, you're using a repeat grid and creating the table. Maybe you have 10 rows. Maybe you want to add another 10. If you actually use the stack and repeat the table for another 10 rows, the data below it actually moves with it, and you don't have to redo it. You just have to move, just do this part where you're doing this repeat grid. You get that point?
Yes.
Okay.
So KK, Arup here again.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have the option of rearranging the cards in the repeat grid? So if I
Yes.
want to place the second card to be placed in the first position,
No, in repeat grid you can't. In repeat grid it
okay,
doesn't work that way.
but in
Uh,
stack we can.
stacking, it does. In stacking, as I
Yes.
showed, right? So you can move here, you can just move anything wherever you want.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yes.
I kind of had that. Wait, hold on, let me open that back. So let's say this is my, this actually has a stacking done. Okay.
Hmm.
Now maybe my this card it had to be maybe at the end. I just move it. The rest
Yes.
of
Yes.
them can move back. Maybe I want it here. Maybe I want to move two of them.
Yes. Yes.
That
Tax
will work,
permits it.
but
Yes.
it will work that way.
All right.
Any further questions? I think these are the few things that I have. Next session probably will concentrate on few more shortcuts. I have a lot more shortcuts that I want to show. Okay. Which I'm sure a lot of us don't use. Okay. There are a lot of shortcuts which I want to show and a few more plugins that I came across. So apart from that, if you guys want any specific features to be show, explain, yeah, one thing we will be concentrating on components in the next session, components with nested components. That is one session that I'm going to take, creating components and nested components and all. Okay. Apart from that, if you guys need specific features that you want me to concentrate on, I can, do a session for that as well.
I personally need the component session. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody has any other questions? I'm more than happy to answer.
There is one XD query I have. Like, suppose I'm creating a square or any rectangle.
Mhm.
I have given a border radius to it. After
Mhm.
some times, or I don't know what is that glitch, it converts that rectangular into some shape.
That
In
is
that,
because you kind of double click it. Okay.
no, it converts that into a shape. Now you can't make it
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
you can't do it. See, that it's not a glitch. It's actually the thing is, you see
Mm.
this. So we have this one, right? So the minute you double click on it, right, it creates it into a path. That's it. Once it creates a path out of it, you can't. So it is right now a part, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that I'm aware of, but it remains the into a shape. Now you can't do that
Yeah, you
again.
can't go back.
Yeah.
That's a glitch in
Yes,
XD.
XD. Yeah.
So once it converts, so maybe here I gave it as 30, and now by mistake it converted to path.
Yes.
All you have to do is you did that and did this, it remains as path. So how it's not actually a glitch, I would say. See, I double clicked, it is path without doing any changes. If I click somewhere else, it is going back to that rectangle. Okay. But
Yeah.
once I select it and I do any kind of change, it remains as a path.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
That's how it works.
Okay. Got it.
So will that be path in every cards
Yes, it's going to be same throughout.
and properties? Yeah.
So
I faced this issue like while creating components, so it's a great mess on that part because component level, but then again you need to create another rectangle and do that repairs.
yeah,
It's mostly happen when you are copy from other file, so it's happen.
there are few issues with XD that we can't, you know, uh, do anything about. It's like, specifically that occasionally once you open the file, like after ages, the dimensions are in points. Sometimes 0.5, you get those things. So yeah, there are certain glitches, but we can't do anything about it. Any other questions? Okay, so this is my first session, so kind of I did what I can. we'll try and keep more in detailed, sessions eventually.
Thanks, Krishna, for the session. Yeah, this is very useful. I hope everyone had something new to learn out of this. Also, my request is that if there are certain things which you guys have as a wish list in terms of something which needs to be clarified or understood, or if you have difficulty in XD, then probably we can kind of list it out and probably take it up in the next session. So feel free to reach out to Krishna because he's compiling the list of things which we believe can be taken up as part of developing our skill set around Adobe XD. And more importantly, I think another thing is the ultimate intention is to kind of figure out how well we can manage our designs. It's not just about learning this tool, but more about being able to fully utilize the tool to help us create, let's say, design systems, or creating the mock-ups, or creating a proper interactive prototype. So I guess, Krishna, at one point we'll also be talking about creating animations and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, one of the reasons why I showed only one shortcut, that is group thing, that is using command or in Mac, or control in this thing, is because a lot of us, don't use groups to actually properly, how do I say it, maintain your layers in the file. The reason being, see, it's not just you. Tomorrow eventually someone else might take over that project, and those groupings, the naming conventions for those groups have to be there. Okay. And just because you're going to double click it and you're going to do multiple clicks, you don't want to do it, and you just ungroup it, it only causes a problem for rest of us. Okay. So that is the reason why that one shortcut that I showed, which is use, how many ever groups that are there inside it, just hold control and click on that layer that you want. It actually takes you directly to there. You don't have to click so many times. So please do, group your things according to elements, according to sections or cards. Properly group it, give a naming convention, so that it is easier for someone who's going to, follow your work eventually. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
can hear you.
Anybody has any questions?
No, Hemant, nothing from my side.
No comment.
If there is anything in terms of any specific thing which needs to be demoed or anything, let us know.
Yes, so what
Okay.
Kate already told that the component will be the next session, so it will be helpful, I think, very much.
Yeah. Building components and Okay, sounds good. So thank you all for coming for the session. I think we'll have another session planned very soon.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just in case if you guys have any questions, you can ping me as well. I'll clarify from whatever we did. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Krishna, for the nice
Thank you.
session.
Thanks,
Thanks.
guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Krishna.
Bye bye.